guys, today we're going back to the 90s with Barbie. So I got these two girlies and they're going to need a little wash and upgrade, nothing too crazy. So here's the before. We have 1991 Mermaid Barbie, who was the first Mermaid Barbie that was brought out. And in 1993, we have she's a superstar, but she's like a special edition from Walmart, which is a chain of stores in the United States. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're going to take a little look at them individually first, and then we're going to see how they turn out afterwards. So it's 1991, and this is your very first Mermaid Barbie. So as you can see, she's in pretty good condition. She has her original tail and bikini top, and I really do like the bikini top because it has this scalloped kind of effect as well, which is a nice little extra. She has her little blue earrings, blue eyeshadow, and this really funky kind of hair accessory. It's like a scallop shell and some, I guess, tendrils. She has this glitter in her hair, and I'm not sure if her hair is discolored in places or if it was meant to be that way, so I'm going to wash it and see if that comes out or not. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if it's meant to be that way, but it's a really nice condition. It's really soft. So basically all she needs really is a wash, condition, and a restyle. She's pretty simple. It's a little bit loose here on the elastic. No, I don't mind that, honestly. It's from all the years of sitting and playing, of course. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really mind it, actually, to be fair. Looks fine. She's got these like scalloped fins as well, and her feet do stick out. And I don't have to worry about finding her matching shoes because these mermaids, or a lot of the mermaids, did not come with shoes. She's meant to kind of just be a mermaid exclusively, I guess. You can remove the tail, but I guess she doesn't need shoes. She just walks around barefoot. I don't know. So there's our 1991 girly, and I do love how pearlescent this fabric is. So we're going to give her a wash and style. And here's our superstar in a closer look. So her dress has a lot of detailing. So she has these different layers of tulle. So we're going to start with the base of the dress. So she has this outer layer with these glittery little stars over a kind of clear mesh layer. So there's two layers of this. One is decorated, one is not. And then there's this kind of very bright pink, fluorescent, almost pink piece over some simple light pink material. So the dress has 4 layers. And she does also have her shoes, which are a nice kind of fluorescent, I guess, to match the tulle. So she also has, well, I assumed it was a corsage, but I think it's meant to be used as both, because when I went looking at her like pictures to see what her hairstyle looked like, she seems to be wearing that in her hair mostly. She would have come in the box with that in her hair, so I'm probably going to try that instead. She's got this big kind of huge collar going on at the back. So yeah, it's Velcro. I'm kind of wondering, actually, could we fit it this way? I wonder. We'll see about that, but I think it actually be nice off the shoulder. It wouldn't be so busy up around her hair, especially when her hair is going to be nice as well. She does have her earrings. She's missing her ring though. So she definitely did have a ring. I'm guessing matching the earrings, which are kind of, yeah, I might have to re-silverize the insides of those. But yeah, at least they're there. I can add a little bit of silver back to the inside. And I'm assuming the ring was sort of a matching design. Yeah, I think we'll be able to work this. So, oh yeah, it's stuck in her Velcro. That's why it's not sticking so well. It's an easy fix though. Her hair, Kineclon, so we know it will probably come back well. Kineclon is pretty easy to deal with. It's just kind of like matted-ish up here. The fringe is a little bit fried, or her bangs, or her pony, whichever you want to call it. But at least they're out, so we don't have to rethatch them. They're there. We just have to coax them back to life a little bit. Her face is like really similar as well, but she doesn't have quite as light of a blue. It's like a more stronger blue eyeshadow with the 2 tones. I think the lip color is pretty much the same as our mermaid. She didn't come with a necklace as far as I know. So yeah, that is the before for these two girlies. I do think, and I'm kind of curious if this will look nicer this way once I get all this untangled. I wonder. Yeah, it's a bit less busy up there then, because otherwise it's very like, being strangled by my dress. So we'll see. And of course this glittery piece here as well. And the body part is plain. So yeah, very nice. The corsage, I'm definitely going to put in her hair because I think it will look nice. I think it's like a half updo or full do, I'm not sure. I try to kind of do the original style if I can. Yeah, with my limited talents, of course. So we'll see how that turns out. So, with a wave of our non-magic wand, actually, before I go, I almost forgot to show this. Because she's, I guess, like a superstar, like an award winner. She has a trophy, because of course she does. Shaped like herself, because obviously, who wouldn't want a trophy shaped like themselves? And I can only assume that she gave it to herself, like she's the one giving out the Barbie trophies and getting the Barbie trophy. So, yeah, a little bit self-serving, but okay. That's fine, that's cool. I'm not sure what, like there's a hook here, so I don't know why it's not really big enough to fit. Like I thought maybe her thumb, and then she could kind of hold it, but that looks a bit like it's strange, honestly. So I might either like attach it here with an elastic, or I might actually kind of have it in her hand, but sew it to one part of the dress, so it kind of looks like she's holding it up. Yeah, bear with me on that one. But yeah, an interesting little piece. It's like an Oscar, but for Barbie. For Barbie from Barbie. So, with a wave of our hand, here's the after. Woo! Magic. Or as much magic as we can muster. So here are the afters on these two girlies. Of course, I've literally just realised I've forgotten to put her earrings back in, but that's okay. I can do it afterwards. Anyway, here are our two girls kind of done. Really happy with both of them. We'll have a closer look at each and I'll tell you a little bit of news about this girlie. If I did the best that I could. But we'll start with our mermaid. So she turned out pretty much perfectly. Like everything is good about her. There was no issues, no problems with any of the fabric or anything. I decided to leave this alone. I'm not too bothered by it, I guess. But what I did end up doing was I ended up removing a lot of the tinsel from her hair because it was very stretched out and damaged. So I left in as much of as I could of the healthy tinsel, so she still has plenty of glitter in her hair. But it was really bad. But there's still plenty in there. But especially with this type of tinsel, like when kids brush the hair, and usually it's with a plastic brush that they come with, the tinsel strands they stretch out, and it just ends up looking like kind of white string, and it's just it messes up the whole hair, and that's how the hair gets tangled. So it's like a whole thing. So I spent a while kind of I individually going through all of the hair, picking out any bad ones, and I think it's really made her look better because her hair sits flatter now. Her hair sits nicely. Whereas before, all of the tinsel that was damaged was just tangling with the hair, with itself, and her hair looked a bit crazy. So yeah, she's got a nice kind of more sleek look, which I think suits her. I think, yeah, that's the underwater look I'd imagine would be the best anyway, kind of just having straight hair. So yeah, really happy with her. She's ready for the shelf. And now on to our next girly. Boop. So as I was working on her, like I knew buying her that her bangs, her fringe looked really short. So it's kind of, sometimes it is taking a little bit of a risk. And it pays off a lot of the time. A lot of the time it's just because the hair is so matted and tangled, and when you can like tease it out and kind of get it to regain its shape, you'll actually find there's a lot of length left. But sadly with this girlie, she actually really did have a pretty bad cut. So there was nothing I could really do about. Now I don't want to reroot her necessarily. So what I did end up doing was I ended up thatching the third and fourth layer a little bit. So I left a layer going backwards, and then every second we'll say plug or hair I pulled over, so that there's no bald patches. The hair is still coming from here. So then I've basically kind of just tried to style it over what was there. So there's still a bit of volume. Actually, it still has a lot of gel in it, so I might try and brush it out a little bit. But basically, so at least now she has a bit of a bang that I kind of cut to the right. Hopefully the right, and it's the best I could kind of do with her without just having a curly knot on the top of her head. It kind of makes her look a bit more sleek. And it's very minimal hair loss as well. Like It's literally just these few rows have been brought forward and taken from. Like there's no ball part on her head or anything like that. She still has a full head of hair, you can see. You know, it's just thatching is a bit of a godsend when it comes to things like this. Her hair is still a bit messy. It's fine. Like I didn't want to kind of go too overboard with her. I just wanted to give her a nice little simple style, little top knot so she can wear her bow. I think she turned out, you know, she's pretty. Her dress is a lot more, I guess it's sitting better. The Velcro in the dress, like a lot of the Velcro was just full of clumps of like old fabric and bits. So that's why it wasn't really sticking to itself anymore. So once I cleaned out the Velcro, I just got like one of these guys and I just kind of picked out the fibers until it was, you know, back like new again. And now the dress closes properly. You know, she doesn't have things going up the back of her head. So yeah, she turned out well too. You know, the fringe, it is what it is. But it definitely looks better from afar than, you know, just a lump of hair on the head, because there was such a tiny amount left. I considered cutting it off and just giving her this, but I just thought, you know what, I'll leave it alone. I'll just add the bit over the top and it'll be fine. So yeah, everything else is nice and clean, nice, and I might actually iron the ends of that just to keep them there. Her little statue is there as well. I forgot to sew that onto her dress, but I will. Yeah, but yeah, she's ready. So that's our two Barbie girls. Yeah, they're looking pretty spiffy, ready to be admired on the shelf, I think. So thank you guys very much for watching. Till next time.